Shit, yeah, it is running. There's our intro. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hello, welcome back to Bad Fanfic. I'm bending the rules on this one a little bit, because this isn't... It's not it's fiction, and it's definitely made by a tortured soul in his mum's basement, which I think it kind of hits it close enough. Hezza's drinking right now, so I'm just filling airtime.
Yeah, and my throat was a little bit dry after reading 2 stories there with such gusto.
After Donkey's raw throbbing member.
They didn't use member and I'm disappointed. It was Spire.
His meat spire, that was it.
Yeah, his meat spire.
Oh, I hope the viewers have been sat there for the 9 days we told them to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's earlier than 9 days, Merry Christmas.
It's currently May the 5th as we record this.
In my living room.
Oh no, it's May 6th. My computer's still on UK time.
Yeah, it is. It's May 6th. Fucking degenerate.
Oh shit, I still need to do my Duolingo.
Yeah, you do. But you have to wait now. Because we're live.
I guess this can't take more than an hour and 4 minutes.
I doubt it.
Oh, I've got 3 streaks, it'll be fun.
So explain what we're doing today.
So, there's a kind of trifecta of RPGs that have been called the worst games of all time.
Mm.
One of them's called Holy Race Wars, and it's about how the Jews brought down the United States, but the white, attractive main characters are going to liberate them to form a brand new Christian union. It's, yeah. Like, if the Jews are so bad, why did they win so suddenly and successful? Anyway, yeah, whatever.
Jesus had a bazooka.
There's another one that like, the name escapes me, and I'm not going to look it up, but it was, like, tried to be an RPG, but the writer just broke down into, like, maths equations and, like, murder threats.
Sounds hot.
It was like reading a serial killer's diary. And then there's this one, Fatal. So this is just an excellent piece of writing, even if, like, I don't anticipate we're going to read this entire thing because it's very long, but you should go and read it. It's just a really well written thing, and it makes me laugh, and I try and read it once a year. Like, I try and read the Lord of the Rings books once a year. What's his name? Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. I try and read that once a year. And this. But anyway, I am going to be reading Darren McLennan's parts, which are in black, and Hezza will be reading Jason Sartin's, which are in red.
Apparently this is the snarkier one of the 2, so it's perfect for me.
Perfect. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. There is no God, and the proof of it can be found in a PDF file from Fatal Games. If this is the first time you've ever heard of Fatal, you're in for a fun ride. Well, let me rephrase. You're in for a fun ride if you consider a fun ride to be, say, hitting your nutsack with a tack hammer for 4 hours.
The nutsack tack hammer thing wouldn't be a fun ride, but it is preferable to actually playing Fatal. Oh hi, I'm Jason Sartin. You may remember me from such classic RPG net moments as the longest fucking Senzar review ever, and all those humanity-hating and go kill yourself already posts I leave on tangency. I'll be helping Darren a lot with this review because friends don't let friends review Fatal alone. Also, this is obviously going to be one of those grandstanding spectacle reviews that tries to be crowd-pleasing. Those of you who hate that kind of review should do the honourable thing and whine your asses off in the forum below.
This was written, incidentally, back in the days close to the Wild West, so please take it with a grain of salt. A big grain, like the kind they strap to the side of mules so they can get it out of the salt mine. Fun fact, I use that phrase.
Fucking old.
I know. This was written in, like, 2002 originally and then updated a bit later, so this is proper, like, dad internet.
I was in year 4.
I was in year 7 at this point, yeah. So just about kind of discovering this stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, I didn't read this shit when I was in year 4. Like, who knows how to read right?
I just discovered Warhammer, and there was a fan forum that I was living on practically at this point. Deathguard.org, I think it was called.
Even I could have read this because I had a very, very, very high reading age.
You think I'm joking. You think I'm exaggerating for comic effect. Then you'll be nodding your head with agreement and also holding your swollen, bruised nutsacks. If you ever happen to open the fatal PDF and give it anything but the most cursory of read-throughs.
But what if you don't have a nutsack like me? Then what happens?
That clip gonna be bruised.
Oh. 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 No thanks. He's not joking, people. And I wasn't either. Those of you wondering what the most ass-tastic RPG of all time would look like, the one whose suck factor will forever demolish all challengers and tower over the ages with all the majesty of a homeless, mindless, drooling, shit-obsessed, impotent moron standing on a mountain of used Dragon Ball Z condoms, can finally die in peace. The arguments are over. Anyone who says anything else is the worst RPG ever will. Well, I'll inject kerosene into my bladder, piss on them, and then set them on fire. This game sucks that much. God fucking damn it. We're hardly 4 words into the review and already the game has dragged me down to its level.
So why is it so bad? Because it's the Necronomicon of role-playing games. Not in the cool way, where it's a source of occult knowledge with a terrible, terrible price. It's the Necronomicon in the sense that if you leave a printed copy on your shelf with other RPGs, then the other RPGs will be clustered around the dead, violated body of one of its own in the morning. The copy of Fatal will most likely be down at the station in the sex crimes interrogation room, trying its best to put on an innocent face and failing miserably.
Another useful comparison is that Fatal is basically anti-thought. As you can already see, it reacts violently with real sentiments. Sentience, even.
Now we like Cinnabar, go figure. You see, Cinnabar was bad, but you have to like it after reading Fatal. Yes, it's a terrible role-playing game in just about every respect, but it's got heart. It's like a punch-drunk, half-blind boxer who hasn't realised that his manager is now arranging fights by pushing him in front of a speeding Mack truck and ringing a bell.
Ding ding ding!
He's going to get a licence plate number embossed into his skull, but he's still out there, still trying. You do the best you can, and that's good enough.
He's got 69 branded into his forehead.
Raven C.S. McCracken, although he's made the occasional misstep, also seems like a decent guy. Just a tad misguided when it comes to riding games. There's an innocence to Cinnabar, a lack of subterfuge that makes it fun to think about, if not to read. If nothing else, it's the only game I've seen so far that has a Midnight Sunstone bazooka in it. It's a bad game, but it's a bad game based on misguided enthusiasm rather than bitter misogyny.
Oh boy, another can of worms. Yeah, I like how World of Cinnabar is uniquely deranged. The first time I read through it, I knew I would never see anything else quite like it. Only McCracken could have made a game that's fucked up the way Cinnabar is fucked up. It's the Plan 9 from outer space of RPGs. It almost defies belief in how insane it gets. But the wrongness has this charming quality to it, and I can't help liking it nowadays. I've actually got more entertainment out of it than most of the good games I own, and I don't regret buying it. So in a bizarre way, McCracken actually succeeded.
Should we run a game of Cinnabar at some point?
Yeah, why
I've
not?
no idea about it, but...
Neither do I. That may sound like I'm damning Cinnabar with faint praise, but compared to even that, Fatal doesn't have anything going for it. It's the shitty game to end all shitty games, and it could have been written by any 14-year-old with an obsession with rape and defecation, no design skill, a Where's copy of Photoshop, and months of lifeless weekends to work on it. Seriously, if Byron Hall and McCracken got into an RPG design fight, I can't read now apparently, McCracken would reduce Hall to sucking his wang so fast every streetwalker in Las Vegas would be taking notes.
An image we will all take to our graves.
And so am I.
Fatal is a product so twisted, so fundamentally broken in its attitude towards sexuality, so unbelievably stupid that you'd think that the authors are trying to make themselves look like they're prime candidates for institutionalisation. They're not, which makes it even scarier.
Is this the one where you, like, there's nutsack size and stuff?
Yes.
It is that one, yeah.
The phrase roll for anal circumference is because of this game.
Oh my god. What does the anal circumference mean? Does it help in any way?
It determines what size object can fit inside your anus. Why would you need to know that in an RPG?
I don't know, but if any of the viewers have an answer to this, please leave it in the comments below.
I don't know if they mention it in this as well, but I think, like, if you were to roll entirely average, your anus would also be wider than your vagina. I think I remember
That's
seeing
how it
somewhere.
works, right?
Yeah.
By the way, you'll notice lots and lots of these personal attacks on the creator and players of this game as this drags on. This starting guy, I feel like he has been rejected by a woman recently. He's had too much salt in his diet recently, and his mum has banned him from using the internet, so he's mad. He's only just got back on the internet and he's got all that fury, that unbridled fury to unleash on this poor RPG.
Like, we're talking dial-up right now, right?
Yeah, he's on dial-up.
So he's just spent however many dollars downloading the PDF of this game, because you very much paid for the data back then.
Yep.
And now he's got a write about it and he's very upset.
Plus his mum said that it's his brother's turn.
I like how you're imagining him like he's 14, whereas I'm imagining him like he's 40.
No, I'm imagining that he's 40.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sarton is like one of the reviewers here.
I know, and I'm trashing him.
Poor Sarton. I quite like him.
While this is bad form in normal reviews, it's hard to avoid here. For one, it's impossible for a game designer we shouldn't insult to create a game this goddamn stupid. For another, Hall and his drooling fanboys went out of their way to honour RPG Net's forums with their personal shot at the world record. The number of flame threads started before one's daily basement Necronomicon, Walden Books version, reading. And you know, I think they won it too. For those who weren't there, the Flame Wars weren't very interesting. It was all simply another chapter in the long-ass book of moron game designers who have created the best game ever! Except that in this chapter, the obligatory AD&D clan featured vagina circumference stats and rape rolls. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Vagina circumference stats and rape rolls. Not bread rolls, rape rolls.
Rapeseed oil?
Possibly, but I think they're talking about the not very nice
Oh, okay.
one. Yeah, and the moron game designers' followers had all the class and brain activity of scrotum lint. Oh, they want to be all evil and shocking and crap. God, how pathetically they try. I mean, imagine opening a door to find your mother and sister raping each other with pink strap-ons. And you then realise that you've never seen their bare asses before, because you're pretty sure you would have remembered the swastikas tattooed there. God, how did he know? Oh my god.
I thought Daisy was a nice girl.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Daisy, if you're listening to this.
Daisy, don't listen to this.
Please don't. And do you then realise that you've never seen their bare... Oh, wait, I've read that.
Yeah.
And upon noticing you, they grin wickedly and give you the finger in unison. I'm giving George the finger right now.
For making you read this.
Yes. It's shocking in a way that instantly blights out all rational thought. But later you'll have to admit the finger and wicked grinning part was kinda cool.
I guess?
That's the feeling the fatal morons so wish they could provoke. Jesus fuck, there's so much reading.
we won't do the whole thing, but...
I wish they would talk more about the game than just complaining about it.
We'll get there, don't worry.
Okay. Instead, they're more like opening that door to find your weak, unwashed otaku brother in his soiled underwear masturbating furiously to all the goddamn things in the world. An Archie comic. And on his bare ass is a tattoo of, inexplicably, someone else's ass, and he's disgustingly fat enough for it to be a good 14 inches across.
You don't have to say these next words if you don't want to.
I'm gonna say it for the drama.
That's bold.
Quote, "This is not me. I am going to censor some words in a unique way. I am reading this. This is not my views and stuff." And as he goes at it, he's quietly moaning to himself about how worthless women, fags, and N-words are, and how they should be all raped or murdered. Incel!
Yes. Of course, that word was never used back then, was it?
Nope. It's still disturbing on all kinds of levels, but it's the kind of stupid disturbing that ends with you having to answer questions to the satisfaction of a prosecuting attorney. Point is, the fatalities have repeatedly proven that treating them with any respect or dignity is pointless. So we're not going to waste your time or hours with the effort. Back in the raving lunatic days, I had thought that Raven C.S. McCracken and the Censor guys needed to take a big step back and calm down. But Byron Hall and his fellow lobotomy candidates made them look like Rebecca Borgstrom on a Prozac bender. I don't know who this is, but...
I don't know either, but I presume she's a very chill woman.
Yeah. But don't worry, none of this will be a problem, because even if you can ignore the misogynistic, homophobic, racist, and all-around idiotic mindset of its core supporters, Fatal blows goats with such panache that it's hard to imagine anyone looking at it. And I got hiccups. And not concluding that Hall should have given up the needle. I thought I read it as they're giving him the needle as in the death injection.
Yeah. Also acceptable.
Yeah.
By the way, you may notice that I write authors of this game rather than author. There's a reason for this. While the game lists only a single author, there are many signs to believe that ye old abomination has more than one, although uncredited. You'll find an explanation later, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. That being said, what we say about Hall applies equally to each and every person who had a hand in this shit pile.
I got another hiccup coming. Meanwhile, you'll notice I've simply gone with acting like there's one author. What can I say except you're welcome? It's easier when there's only one legendary industry boob for the next 10 years to blame. And the thought that another human being actually said to him, "Hey, Fatal sounds really cool, let me contribute to it," is too depressing to contemplate. Why don't you think about all the shit that was going on in the world at the time? There's more things to be mad about, my dude.
I thought you'd be on board with this take of... I suppose you haven't really heard much about the game itself yet, but...
I just know about the ballsack size.
Well, let me just see what it looks like underneath this rock. Oh my god, sweet Jesus, no.
Well, I do agree with them, from what I know. But he comes off as just like a really angry guy in his mother's basement.
Like the kind of guy that you would desperately not want to talk to on Discord, but he still keeps messaging you.
Pretty much, yeah. While I agree with him, it's just his take at it. Like, this is a review. I'm going to be serious. I'm very rarely very serious, but I'm reading a review. You've told me more about how you feel about it than the actual game itself.
Yeah.
So if I was looking at this to find out about Fatal, I don't know anything apart from there's a vagina circumference and rape rolls. That tells me fucking nothing. Or does it tell me everything? You decide.
I was going to say, doesn't that justify all of the vitriol so far?
Yes, but it's still a review. I want to know about the game.
Well,
I say while quietly tapping the table.
well, let's start with the title page. Yeah, it's that bad.
It wants me to do a Duffman impression.
It does want you to do a Duffman impression.
Oh yeah! Fantasy adventure to adult lechery. In crappy, you can see the asses of the little engraved figures font, right inside a border made up of random garbage characters. Incidentally, at some point after the original version of this review, the name was changed to From Another Time, Another Land. Great, huh? Of all Fatal's endless faults, they chose to fix the title.
While you're on it, you can queue up Optimism by Radiohead. I don't know the song.
I do, yeah.
And you'll have a good idea of how the both of us feel right now. For those of you who do not have that song, because this was 2002 and people still used CDs, yeah. So LimeWire was probably around then. I was a bit older when I used it. But
Yeah.
God,
Same.
rest in peace, LimeWire.
Linkin Park, EXE.
Yeah.
Non-EXE.
It was like, yeah, Evanescence.mp4 and it turned out to be horse porn.
Yeah. There's no cock like horse cock.
I didn't mention, I've thought about it while you were reading in the last episode, but I do own a playlist of songs about horses.
Yeah.
It terrifies Abby every time because it might land on no cock like horse cock. For those of you who do not have that song, it is very good and also a song about how everything has gone wrong.
Perfect for this day and age as well.
Fatal claims to be the most difficult, detailed, realistic, and historically/mythically accurate role-playing game available.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll for Hercules' asshole.
Yeah.
This is accurate, that
Yeah.
his asshole is the size of a killer
Yeah,
whale.
because he would have had one. So
Yeah, he would.
This is the most damnable lie I have ever read in my history as an RPG reviewer. In no sense is that statement true. As a matter of fact, in every sense of that word, that statement is so false as to provide the golden standard for statements of falsehood. Fatal is difficult only in the sense that peeling off your face a strip at a time is difficult. Detailed only in the respects that give the creators an erection. Realistic. Jesus, I can't even go into it. Historically/mythically accurate only in the sense that its creators occupy the same physical world that these myths originated upon. And about as accurate as banging your ass on the keyboard to write the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, there's a lot of reading. Darren is correct, but it should be noted that this is actually a good title page, as it subtly hints at much, though by no means all, of what sucks about the game. Adult lechery? Perhaps is nitpicking to the point, out the redundancy. Ooh, what's next? The fantasy game of violent combat? The sci-fi game of starfaring space travel? The White Wolf game of, fuck it, let's just give me the cool powers already. I'm a fan of what White Wolf is now.
Yeah.
World of Darkness, so, yeah. But it's a good indicator of the level of thoughts that went into the whole game. And of course it reminds you that this won't be just another Tolkien clone RPG, but a raping and shitting Tolkien clone RPG. Difficult? Oh yeah, anyone with the force of will to endure reading all 900 plus pages, fuck that.
Yes.
Of this homesick abortion of a game, without going insane and making sacrifices to sweet Azathoth for a merciful annihilation of the universe. There's no one to be fucked with, and anyone who could do that and actually play by its anal retentive trip to hell of a rules system without succumbing to Whore's probable compulsion to inhale drainer. I'm guessing that's like a bleach.
Drain cleaner, yeah.
Yeah. By the arseloads would have to be some kind of demigod. And yes, it's saying difficult like it's a good thing.
See, this was written before Dark Souls, long before Dark Souls existed.
Was Fatal the original Dark Souls?
Maybe.
But hey, ain't that always the eternal struggle of gaming? play a difficult game and get massive headaches because it's needlessly complicated, and PC killing because I accidentally dropped my rusty dagger and impaled my favourite intestinal tract. He has a favourite intestinal tract?
Well, you will do after playing this game.
Yeah, versus go with something that won't make me roll 5 times on the random shit discoloration table every time I cast Light My Finger, and thus spend more time actually doing things. Oh my god. Realistically and historically/mythically accurate. Oh, I bet. Player 1, Roxor. This is the best system for emulating the myths of Heracles I've ever seen.
Heracles.
Heracles.
So Roman Hercules.
Yeah. And it's fucking sweet how all the gods and monsters and heroes can't do anything that wouldn't be possible in real life. Player 2, hell yeah, when I was trying to get past Cerberus, he wasn't any tougher than a pit bull with 2 extra rubber heads. And later when I was masturbating on the temple altar and I angered the gods, they didn't do anything but just not appear. Dude, you can't handle the realism. Player 1, woot! If this were any more realistic, you'd be able to taste the penis length. Yes, I do this daily. Player 2, testify, brother. Lots of people in history had penises. No shit. So it's ultra realistic and historically accurate to put in rules about that. Player 1, man, I could cream myself just thinking about this. I can't wait to see if it has rules for hut building, grass growing, nose picking, and the spread of Christianity, since people experienced those during history too. So yeah.
Spoiler, there isn't.
Okay, I gave the subtitle more attention than it deserved. Let's just say if Hall set out to write one fucking line that instantly screams that the ensuing RPG will be nearly as cool as getting diagnosed with cancer and necrotizing fasciitis bacteria on the same day, he succeeded brilliantly.
And for the fun part, the Fatal Games logo is "Where the dice never lie." I would suggest that the owners of Fatal Games must have dice that come up, "This game sucks, Beavis," no matter how they are thrown, or we must chalk this up to yet another falsehood.
Yeah, I really liked that logo too. It was nice of the fatalities to point out that when you play games from other companies, your dice may lie to you. Ha! I knew it. All those times I was playing D&D or Senzar, and that D20 would show a 3 or some shit, when I knew I rolled a 20. Thanks, Fatal, for showing me the way. No, wait, this game still proves once and for all that Darwin was an ass-grabbing fool. I can't read anymore, my brain's just fucking dead. Do show him the logo.
I'm going to skip a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
So, did I mention this thing is 900 pages long? This is why I summoned help from Jason, blah blah blah. So, from the second page, for instance, you assume you are an adventuring knight who just fought his way to the top of a dark tower where you find a comely young maiden chained to the wall. Some may choose to free the whimpering wench.
Oh my god.
Others may free her while hoping to win her heart. Instead of seeking affection, some may talk to her to see if they can collect a reward for her safe return. Then again, others may be more interested in negotiating freedom for fellatio.
I'm only interested if her ass circumference is the size of a killer whale.
Some may think she has no room to bargain and take their fleshy pleasures by force. Others would rather kill her, dismember her young cadaver, and feast on her warm innards.
I'd just let her go and be like, pay me, bitch.
And no, rules for dating are not included. Rape? Yes.
This guy, I hope he's in, like, a mental institution, or he's on the sex offender registry or something.
So here's the thing. Vampire is a game that could also be classified as a date rape game. You're a vampire, a mythic creature who's been sexualized by 300 years worth of literature into a romantic creature. And yet, as a vampire, you're stealing a part of people's bodies without their permission. Every single night. Eventually, you're going to kill one of them when you get a little too hungry. You don't necessarily want to, but you need to eat. And do you know why Vampire is the superior game by far? Because the game forces you to find out what you'll do to survive. If you have to drink someone else's blood in order to live another night, will you do it? Will you drain some bum on the street? Or stalk someone for hours and take only enough to survive? Will you subsist on dogs and cats? Every time you stab someone in the throat with your fangs and drink the blood, even if you're not thinking about it, you're essentially risking someone else's life for your own. You can say that you're a vampire, you have to do it, but nothing's stopping you from waiting for the next sunrise except your own sense of self-preservation. Yes, you're playing an RPG and a vampire, but you can still kill yourself and make it an in-game valid character choice.
I do like Vampire the Masquerade 5th
It's
edition.
very good.
I want to play it.
It's in the background, but it's there. You have to make a decision. In Vampire, it's an adult decision. Do I kill to live? In Fatal, it's date rape and killing and cadavers are cool. Yeah, thank you for showing me the way. Spray paint huffing and social retardation.
Yeah!
Also misogyny. We forgot to thank misogyny. Let's just scroll down a little bit to the best line of the review. So basically, saying that this game should be burned is an insult to fire. You can go now if you want. You have just read the best line of the review.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll leave the link in the video description. I personally think this is one of the funniest things you can read.
I think it is funny. It's just very brain draining to read at 1:30 in the morning.
That's fair. Right, thank you for watching, guys. I'm saluting you. You can't see right now. But Heather
See
can.
you soon. You poon.
Remember, friends don't let friends play Fatal.